sucker. See where we're at. Oh. Something interesting happened to me today. I've been driving around my El Camino trying to get all the kinks out. If you know, I did a video where I did the hot rod power tour. Road tripped it to Vegas, back, and to Irwindale, and then to, where else did we go? Oh, Pomona. And the El Camino ran great then. I mean, it ran great for it being, you know, stored away for so long and me getting it running, changing a bunch of fluids, and then getting it out on the road, messing with the carburetor. I did a video on the carburetor also. So it's been running decent. It hasn't been running 100%. And that's why I was thinking about doing an LS swap or putting the atomic EFI on there. I've been thinking about doing a lot, but all that takes money, so I haven't done it yet. Well, something new happened today. So I was driving around today and it felt different, right? It's been raining and cold here in California, so I just thought it was, you know, it was cold. And it's a carbureted car, so, you know, it'll need to adjust, even though it has the O2 sensor to adjust. It wasn't really, you know, it wasn't really adjusting. It was idling a little bit rougher than it usually does. So I just figured it was because of the cold. Well, I took it on the freeway. I was going somewhere and man, it just fell on its face. It had all kinds of lack of power. You gotta understand something. So this vehicle, I'm pretty sure that it's had a cat problem for a while, because one time I was under there doing something and my elbow hit the exhaust and I heard something rattle. Now I heard this rattle before, but I thought it was like a body panel or a suspension component that was loose, making the noise while we're on the freeway. It was the cat converter. So when I hit the exhaust, the cat shook and you could hear the honeycomb inside of the cat converter rattling. Well, turns out I think my cat's plugged. So I went on the freeway, started accelerating, and it just fell on its face. It wouldn't go past 45. And I know it's not fuel. Well, I don't know if it's fuel or not, but I'm pretty sure it's not the fuel, because like I said, we went through the carburetor, all through it. It should be dialed in, and it ran great when I went to Vegas that one time. It ran amazing. So I'm pretty sure it's a cat converter, because you can also hear it. I don't know if you ever driven a car that has a plugged up cat, but it'll sound like it has like fluttering noise. Like you accelerate it and you hear this like loud air rushing noise coming from like under the vehicle or up on the engine bay. I got this really cool tool. Nope, that ain't it. Pressure tester, vacuum tester. Where the heck is it? Well, I was sure I had a back pressure tester, but I don't. But I do have this fuel pressure vacuum gauge. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna plumb this and through this hose. We'll connect that to this right here. Do it with one hand. Connect it like that, and then we'll use this plug. This vehicle has secondary air tubes, so if we pull that off, we should be able to plug this in, start the vehicle up, and see how much pressure we have. There should be less than 3 psi pressure in that exhaust. So if I have anything more than that, that's pretty much telling me that my exhaust is plugged up, or the cat converter, or something in the exhaust, but I'm pretty sure it's the cat. This is my secondary air valve. And as you can see, it's plumbed right to the exhaust manifold right here. So if I pull this off, put this end into there, start the vehicle up, and let's see how much pressure I have. Well, lucky for me, it's already loose. Now the reason you got to pull this off is these are one-way valves. So they got a little flapper in there. They don't allow pressure in that direction. They only allow the secondary air to go through to the exhaust. So as you can see, you got like less than a PSI. So I'm gonna rev this sucker. See where we're at. Oh. You see that? So right now at idle, we got about 1.5 pounds of pressure in that exhaust. When I rev it up, 10 pounds. So that pretty much verifies what I suspected. That cat converter is. So I gotta replace it. Now, the problem is I live in California. So I can't just remove it. And I would like it to pass smog again, so I need to replace it. The good thing would be to just remove it and run it straight pipe and see how awesome it runs, but I can't do that. Luckily tomorrow I'll be able to go to the swap meet. There was only one time that I found that they were selling high flow cats, you know, like the MagnaFlow ones, the ones you get at the muffler shop. So I may get lucky, I may not. Either way, that has to be replaced. So I'm gonna figure out a way to get one coming because they are very expensive. The California cats are just stupid expensive. But I need it. I need to get that car back on the road, running tip top. Anywho, so I'll catch you guys in the morning. We're gonna head out to the swap meet. Hopefully we find some good deals. I'm trying for the gauges. I need a box to carry them in, right?
Yes, it's up to you if you want that or something.
Alright. Thank you.
All right, man.
Well, we're back home, guys. Went to the swap meet. Wasn't that busy. Not a very few vendors, but it is the Super Bowls today, so I kind of knew there wasn't gonna be much. I did get like a low car kickdown cable, and I did finally end up picking up some gauges. I got them real cheap for like 10 bucks, and they're autometer gauges, so that's a good thing. But either way, after the swap meet, I hit the auto parts store. I went to ask to see how much a cat converter for that is. It then turns out it's pretty expensive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order one online because they are cheaper and they are carb-approved cats, so I can't put it on that vehicle because it's pre-OBD1. I'm sorry, pre-OBD2. So I'm gonna be able to use a universal cat converter on there, and they are online pretty cheap. So but right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut that cat out so I can at least drive this thing so I can get it to the muffler shop. And the way I think I'm gonna do that, they sell a piece of flex pipe that you can clamp on there temporarily. All right. So what we're gonna do, this is just a basketball, or actually any ball, pressure gauge. It's got real low graduations, it's like from 1 to 10 PSI. So we already checked the cat converter from the cat forward. Now we're gonna check it, so from here forward, there's back pressure. If I stick this in here, rev up the car, this shouldn't move. That tells me that there's no back pressure going back this way. Go ahead. All right, again. All right. So I know there's back pressure at the front of the engine from the cat converter forward. So what I did now, I went after the cat converter. I drilled that hole, put this tool in, and all this is just to check tire pressure on like a ball. It has a little hole on the end of that. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. You put it in the hole up against the pipe and you accelerate. And this is sensitive enough to if it had any kind of back pressure, this would stick out. right? And that shows you that you have back pressure. But since it didn't, that's telling me that from the cat converter forward is plugged up. And there's nothing else that can get plugged up except for the cat converter. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out and go get that pipe. And you see those pieces in there? That should not be that way. So let's go get that pipe. Well, I went to the auto parts store. Turns out they don't have what I need. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out. So I went today to another muffler shop. Ended up finding what I needed. Got that pipe, a couple clamps, put it right in. So now I could take my time and find the cat that I need, get it in, weld it in myself, save me some more money. This only cost me like $14, $15. It was like $3 each clamp, and the pipe was like $11. So not too bad. But I think I'm gonna save that for next time. I might just drive that thing to the muffler shop and just get it installed, but it is pricey and I'm cheap, you know? Anywho, guys, thank you for joining me. Had a great time at the swap meet. I got me a couple things, not what I expected, but it is Super Bowl again, you know, so whatever. But thanks again for joining me. Please like, subscribe, liking the content, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. I'll catch you on the next one.